Okay, so it runs. It hasn't been started for about 7 years, so I can't believe it's actually started. I'll show you. So took plugs out. Obviously, been oiling the bores for years whilst it's been laid up. Occasionally turning it over, so it wasn't seized. Had to put it in gear and roll it backwards and forwards so to make sure everything broke off freely. New drop oil down each plug, then wound it over with nothing else connected, and it all span up nice. Starter motor was really lazy, so I had to take the starter motor out, and the connections on the back of the starter motor weren't very good, so we ended up stripping the starter motor down, cleaning that, rebuilding that. A little bit of fuel from the petrol can, because I dare say the stuff in the tank is either useless or is full of rust, because the tank's probably rusted out as well. But at this moment in time, new battery from work, usual sort of craziness that goes on. Had to redo the points, obviously, because why wouldn't you? They would be completely seized up. So just coming into the car and switching on the power, which is under here. As you can see where we've stolen things from the dashboard. Most of it is now missing. Switch on the ignition and... Oh, you slag. Aha! Power! And... gotta say, you ain't sounding too bad. I mean, this hasn't ran for 7 years. Just feeling around. Starting to warm up. I can't run it for too long because obviously, well, I'm going to kill myself, aren't I? So, that is a very successful couple of hours. Okay, haha. Right, so one very grubby Marina. Been here for about 7 years. Needs a good clean. So, I've got no running water here, so I've got some buckets and some water, some bits and bobs. Let's clear it off and see how it looks. So this is where we're at. It's like the paint's so open. I mean, you have to remember, this is actual hammerite paint. This is not proper car paint that's on this. It's been on there for like 10 years now. I mean, I painted this like ages ago. Just in my mum and dad's garage before we started to use it as sort of a bit of a rally car, you know. And I was never expecting this car to last, 12 years later sort of thing, let alone survive in here for 7 or 8 years or whatever it's been. So it's really weird. The paint's sort of so open, but with a scrub it kind of starts to come back a bit. But yeah, really open paint. You can feel it's like rough. So I'm almost tempted, like maybe a chemical cut, maybe a T-cut or something, just to see if I can get any of this stuff actually off. I mean, it goes with a rub. Give it a proper rub with a sponge and it kind of comes off, whatever this gunk is. I guess it's from that ceiling, whatever's up there. Be tallow or something, wouldn't it? They would have put on that. So it's dripping down tallow, I guess, onto the bodywork. I mean, kind of done a quarter of a bit. Let's see how we carry on once we get a bit further into it. Okay, so we're back in the garage, and I have cleaned some of the car. Half. Have a look. So that is actually not looking that bad. Got this side done, so I've got still plenty to do because I've only done half the car. Got to around here and kind of gave up. The problem I have is getting down the other side because the garage is a little bit tight on the other side and I'm going to struggle getting down the side. But so I've left it half and half. That's kind of want to keep it half and half. That'd be really funny, but I won't be able to do that, will I? Because someone will probably pull me up or something. Right, so dusty, not very good. Clean, not too bad. This weird gunk still seems to be everywhere in patches, and I've got to try and clean that off. It's lumpy goop. Don't really know what it is. It's something off the ceiling. But as you can see, access down the side, this side is going to be a bit more awkward. Not so bad here, it's just this old bed frame that seems to have inherited from somewhere. Try and get rid of that at some point. But the rest of the car doesn't look too bad, I suppose. But again, just needs a lot of cleaning. Once it's done, it will look something like that. And once I get it out of the garage and back at home, I'm probably going to tea-cut this and go over it with a polisher of some kind and try and get it to come up even a bit more. It's very yellow, but that's the whole point. So it's quite going to look quite nice, I think, once it's done. Still got the wheel arch to paint this whole rear quarter. I am going to repaint with Hammerite, probably lose it around here somewhere, and try and get that altar. Fresh Hammerite with 10-year-old Hammerite, yeah, I'll be able to lose that on that shape somewhere, hopefully, so it won't look too weird. But there you go, so that's the progress so far. I'll probably post again when I've finished cleaning this. I might even do a little time lapse in a minute, see if I can make that work. Right, there we go. Okay, so it's been given a bit of a buff. We've got rid of all the dust and the weird bits. Got some repairs to do. I think the bonnet quite creased. I don't remember it being that dented. I think something's. Did I put something on this? No, I must have had it down. Put something on it. I don't know what that. Yeah, so bonnet's crinkly. Let's have a look. Bloke opened the door into the side. Lovely. There is a bit of me that doesn't really want to repair this, and I'll tell you why. We took this to one of those wildlife parks shortly after we painted it yellow. That was mostly done by a tiger or a lion. Lion, must have been a lion. It was done by a lion that decided that he liked the taste of the front of it. So thank you for the guy, the warden guy in the Gimli that chased off the lion that was eating the car, really. So that is now all cleaner, which is very nice. Gives you hope, doesn't it? Gives you hope that one day I'll get this thing out of here. Now, next step is to finish off doing the wheel arch on the other side. The wheel arch being that. Now, kind of made one. It's not all filler. Don't panic. It's not all filler. It is. There's a skim in there, and I made a wheel arch out of the bits what was left over the old one, really, and some other bits and bobs. Now I've got to flatten this. I've started flattening this all down. I'm going to take the paint up to there, and hopefully it'll almost blend in. But yeah, it's it won't look too bad. I've got a bit down the seal here as well, so I'll just sort of follow the contours a little bit and try and lose the new paint up against the old paint, maybe on that shape there, that shape there, sort of thing. But yeah, it's all coming together. So that's my next task, is rubbing that down, which will be a joy, as always. I'll show you what that's like later on. Right, so building things up slow. First coat is, oh, there goes the first coat is on and looking reasonably evenish. Say evenish, but you know. So the next coat has got to go on. See if I can show you me. Okay, so here we go. Let's see if this works. So there we go, coming out a bit more and more yellow every sweep. Not got any runs in it yet, but you know, it is me doing it, so could be anything soon. But I've always been told to paint the Union Jack, so that's kind of the way I've been doing it. So sweep one way, then upwards and downwards. So hopefully don't get too many straight lines in it, if that makes sense. Anyway, see how it comes out. Okay, so end result is reasonably positive. I don't really see too much wrong with it. I mean, okay, so my filler's not very good down here, is it? I know I can't fill. There are certain jobs which I just can't do, and filling and fairing is probably one of them. But the car is now clean, it's getting painted-ish in corners, and it's all looking rather splendid. So hopefully not too long before this thing makes it out here. Okay, so this is how I put on bridging filler. So bridging filler is kind of weird, gloopy stuff. And what you do is, it's really for holes. So there was a couple of pinholes here, like obviously Marina, what can you say? So put the filler in with your hand. I find scooping it in with your hand best. Your fingers seem to be really good at doing it, especially with gloves. And then put a piece of cellophane over the top. Pull the cellophane tight, not tight enough to split it. I have split there somewhere, it's got a little tear, but that makes your job so much easier. Now I've also welded a plate in here and then just put a bit of bridging filler in the hole, and much the same thing. So you can see just a piece of cellophane pulled tight over it. It'll make your job so much easier when it comes to filling. So this is the stuff I'm on about, bridging filler. It's yeah, it's gloopy, it's like strands of fiberglass, so you kind of have this problem of not being able to spread it properly. So by doing this, a little bit of plastic cellophane, little cellophane from the term edges stretched over that. Bam. Okay, so it's now gone off. So let's see if we can pull this off and see how we're going to go. So you see, it just comes pretty much straight off. This bit over here, which I wasn't really too fussed about, that's going to be taken off. But this is the bit that we're interested in. And as you can see, it's nice and smooth. And okay, I'm going to have to, I've not got the shape quite right, have I? But I'm going to do something with it. And same with this bit over here. Bring the light over. So again, just pull it off, just comes straight off like that, and you can see I've got a nice smoothish finish. But I mean, this all needs rubbing down anyway, so that's going to start me off. But yeah, so that's how you, or how I use bridging filler. Interesting, isn't it? So now we've rubbed it down. Obviously this is just the base, so we're going to put another layer of filler over the top to get these small holes. Bridging filler being what it is, it was never meant for like top coat really, and it's really just to fill the void up that you are trying to cover. So that's why it's called bridging filler. But a coat of now normal normal filler, nice smooth filler, and we should get some better shape on that. Now to give you some context, even doing it like that probably took me the best part of half an hour to 3/4 of an hour getting this all rubbed down, even though I did use a cellophane, and it would have made it a lot quicker. Most of the filler you ever put on, you pretty much take about 90% of it off, so you never really need to put a huge amount on. But yeah, so that's my advice. Don't put too much on. Let's see what it looks like next. Okay, so now you can see I've put some paint on with a brush. I know that it's a lot of prep, and then I'll put brush on it. But my theory is Hammerite doesn't seem to want to go on with anything else apart from Hammerite. So it's meant to be put direct to metal, which it is. So I've put it direct to metal with a brush with a view to rubbing that pretty much all back down, just to give it a coat of something on there for it to grab onto, like a bit like an undercoat, but top coat, undercoat. It's also going to act as a little bit of a stopper, so if we've got any imperfections in such thick paint, so it's got any imperfections in things like my filler, then hopefully it'll pick it up and sort of help with that once it's rubbed back down. So that's the theory. We'll have to wait now about a week for this stuff to go off. It takes ages for it to properly harden, and without it properly hardening I can't really rub it down because it goes stringy and weird. But I think you can see it's got the shape right, and there doesn't seem to be too much in the way of lumps in it or whatever. Corresponding wing, it's reacting already with something that's in there. Look, it's bubbling up. So that's interesting, isn't it? Because that should all be Hammerite under there, yet it's already starting to react. Strange. And on the other side, we've got exactly the same situation. Just again, quick filler, because there was some pinholes in this one, and also this was the one where the tiger ate it. Weird. So that's now doing the same thing. in theory, I should be able to rub that down. I could probably put another coat on maybe tomorrow once this one sort of started to semi-harden off. And once that's done, I can put another coat on, maybe build it up, because it doesn't cover that well, really. It's very difficult for the paint to sort of disguise any undercoat or anything like that, so that it all bleeds through. So that's also the reason I'm sort of layering it up with a bit of thicker stuff. Hopefully it's going to make a difference as an undercoat. Let's see how that happens in about a week's time.